We did handstands up against the wall and played with 2 balls up against the wall and skipped. And we used to run races around the block. One of the things I remember loving to do, we used to tie a rope to the crossbar on the top of the lamppost and swing around it. I don't think we were supposed to, but we did it.
Tops and whips, silver paper from the Easter eggs on the tops. Then it would be chucks. 2-baller was a favourite, knew all the rhymes that went with the games. And skippies, great big rope, none of your little, great big rope, and games that went on all day and we sang all the rhymes. Bays was another favourite. They were drawn the length of the road and they stayed there as long as the weather was dry. You weren't interrupted by traffic. Nobody had a car.
There was no difficulty about playing outside because neighbours took care of you. And in those days, it wasn't against the law to give somebody a thick ear. And if you stepped out of line, you were in trouble. And then your parents got a hold of you and you were in trouble again. So you pretty soon learned to behave yourself.
Oh, yes, of course. Hide and seek was always my favourite, you know. I just like that whole idea of, you know, as it was getting dusk, as it was getting dark and we'd all be out. And I was never into the kind of the knocking nine doors things, although I think they were more talked about than done. But I think hide and seek was definitely my favourite. Something furtive about being in the dark and being caught and the excitement.
My pushchair my father made, he was very handy with his hands. And it was made of wood, but it moved, the wheels moved, it was very nice. So I played in the street. I only had a teddy bear. Things were very tough and you didn't get toys. You got an either or, a book or a toy, and that was it.
On the sports side, we had a bit of spare ground where Newman Square is now, but it was all grass and it wasn't a football pitch, but to us it was Wembley. You know, it stretched from the Deckham front up to Splickrow Road where the Shakespeare was. Now, one year my mother bought me a case ball, a laced case ball, which was an absolute, made us top dog in the square. And lads used to come and play with a case ball. The trouble was, when you kicked the ball too hard, it used to go down Splickrow Road. And rather than get killed chasing amongst the traffic, you lost many a case ball like that. In one incident in particular, I was loaded with cold, and my mother, after school, there was a knock on the door, and there was 20 lads waiting there and saying, "Is George in?" And my mother says, "I'm afraid he's quite poorly in bed. Well, come on, I'll lend him his case." You know, they were only interested in getting the ball.